Good evening, I should say. And welcome back to day number 2 of the 2025 Para Ice Hockey Championships here at the Lunenburg County Lifestyle Center and the Clearwater Seafoods Arena here in Bridgewater, Nova Scotia for game number 13 of the tournament between Team Manitoba and Team Quebec. My name's Jason Troop, joined alongside Stephen Rombeek. Steve, what can we expect in this one?
Well, it's going to be a really interesting game. We've seen the fourth game for all the teams has been a little bit slower. We'll see if Quebec can keep their momentum going. And no losses yet in this tournament. Manitoba's going to have to dig really deep, and their fan base here in the arena with us has been exceptional at filling the stands, and that may play a bit of a booster for them, getting them going and keeping their momentum going through this long fourth game.
For sure, and I think that you summed it up really well there, Steve. I think that's going to play a big difference, and you can probably hear them right now. They're fired up for just stuff like that, and Gravel will make the easy save. Obviously, Gravel took a big hit in the second game of the day, Quebec's first game today, and when they played Team Alberta this morning, Gravel got cut out of his crease and got laid the boom as there's a shot from Auclair off the post.
Yeah, so both goalies just being tested early here. It's good to see those shots going both ways. As you said, Gravel getting that hit early in that game against Alberta seemed to rattle him for a bit, but if anything, he came back stronger.
For sure, and I believe he posted another goose egg, which as of right now, Steve, I think he's only let in one goal this whole tournament, and that came against Team Atlantic, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And pass the call on this one. We'll get our first whistle with 1:20 played so far in the first period. 13:40 to go here in the first period, and just listen to these Manitoba fans.
Yeah, it's great to see that. It's been so wonderful to have them in the stands. We've had those different groups coming in throughout the days, but gets a little dead here in the evenings. But that Manitoba crowd is getting me going, making it much more enjoyable.
100% there, Steve. And one thing I've noticed about this game is both teams, all their players are from their home province. So, for example, Team Saskatchewan is made up of many different provinces. In this one, all the Quebec players and coaches are from Quebec. And for Manitoba, all the players and coaches are from Manitoba, except for assistant coach Chris Douglas. He comes out of St. Cloud, Florida.
Yeah, it's a good observation there, Easton. We certainly have a mismatch of teams, and as I mentioned earlier in this tournament, a number of these players actually also play for Team Canada. And so some of these guys, and even if they're in the development team for Team Canada, you're going to see that they've played together throughout their careers. Some phenomenal athletes that we've got in this tournament.
Line's been ready to drop the puck, and we're off. And here's Sevigny walking in, trying to force that one down, though it's broken up, and Auclair will try and use his speed to pick that one up. And it's along the boards now. Picked up at the low point area by Auclair, broken up by Klassen, going the other way. Delorier and Armbruster with them. That's rimming on the boards.
Yeah, Quebec handled that quite comfortably. Their defense came back, 3 of them, spread out nicely, seemed well under control. Did not panic at all.
So far, Steve, Quebec's easily been the most structured team in this tournament.
Most definitely, and I think that's going to play a big part as we get further in this tournament. Big hit there along the boards.
And the Manitoba fans, man, they're just loving it.
Yeah, and we've seen their captain be very physical, taking a few penalties, but not too many, but very, very physical throughout this tournament.
And here's Klassen with it, trying to get it over to Laurier, and he takes a bit of a punch that time from Desnoyers of Team Quebec. Now here comes Quebec up the left side, trying to get it to Sevigny. Doesn't work, but Maydenock might have a chance to poke that one away, though ultimately Team Quebec will come up with it. Now Sevigny will try and work that one down low to Desnoyers, just out of reach. Might have had Mezoudi on the far side if it would have connected. And then that one just goes a little wide of Henry Hand. Sevigny's going to need to get off the ice really quick here, and he easily did it. And that one's broken up. White lost the stick that time, and good out to center. Wall will send that one back down. Along the boards, here's Team Quebec. They'll fire with that one through. Oh, it's broken up by Team Manitoba. Trying to get that one down low, but just not enough on it. And Mesoudi will take a bump that time, go the other way. Here's Vint. Vint works that one over. Looking for that loose puck now is Waugh and Raffat. And Waugh will take a bump on that one, and Raffat comes up with it. That one connects with Mesoudi, though it can't hang on to it really. And Chabahu will dump it in his own end, actually. Manitoba, sorry, will rim that one along the boards. In the neutral zone now, fighting for the puck.
Quebec certainly looking comfortable to play their current game.
Hold on now as White breaks that one up. Maybe a chance, and there's going to be a penalty coming to Team Quebec.
Great effort by White there to hang in there, take the penalty. This will give a great opportunity to Manitoba to get something on the board early. Shots 1-1 thus far. Nothing too serious for our goalies to contend with at this point. See if Manitoba can make something of this. Great play by White there just to get in there, take the hit, draws the penalty.
And it looks like it's going to be Brett Fat to the box for Team Quebec.
And we'll get underway shortly here. Looking to see something happen from the Armbruster group, especially Elijah and Isaiah. They've definitely put some points on the board. Elijah coming out with 7 goals so far this tournament.
Out to center now. Team Quebec will win the loose puck race, and here they come in on goal, short-handed. Shot there, beat him over the screens, they score.
That was a beautiful solo effort there. Just walks in. I can't wait to see the replay on that one. That just acceleration totally beats Manitoba.
Terry Gregoire gets a shorthanded goal just 12 seconds into the kill. Call it a power kill, if you will there, Steve.
What a great breakout pass. Just textbook along the boards. Beats 2 defenders. Calmly walks in. Beats the goalie handedly under the sled. Good patience on that shot as well. Waiting for the goalie to commit. As soon as he goes down, goes to the other side, back of the net.
Referee in the center ice, making sure Mesudi is set to go. And now we're off once again. Manitoba still on the power play. Let's see what Rosello will do with it. He'll bank it up to Armbruster. Now Armbruster, that one will go a little wide. Clear to the neutral zone. Now fired back in. And hit there along the boards. And Manitoba will bank that one up the left side. That one will end up going all the way down. Maidenuk will pick up the loose puck behind his own crease, or behind his own net, I should say. And it looks like Logan Bilodeau from Winnipeg, Manitoba is going to be the starting goaltender for Team Manitoba.
Absolutely. I noticed that as well. They've had both Paul Ham and Logan Bilodeau in net a bit this tournament.
And nice save there by Bilodeau. Here's Armbruster now with it. Now that one will get sent back down by Elijah Armbruster of Team Manitoba. It's picked up by Eau Claire. That one actually will ring off his post. 20 seconds to go on the kill for Quebec, and they'll fire that one down. And actually he's going to take a bounce and reach Bilodeau in his crease. He decides to play it aside. Up to Delorier. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Now here comes Team Manitoba. That one just out of reach. It's picked up by Tribal Hu for Quebec. And now coming up the left side is Team Quebec. Broken up that time, man out of the box for Quebec, and going the other way is Manitoba. And honestly, on that one there, Steve, it looked like Team Quebec might have been the team on the power play.
I know. I thought that the same thing at first when I saw that breakout pass. I was like, oh, this is a great power play for them. And then I realized, wait a minute, they're shorthanded. They are just controlling this game as they have all tournament.
And that one's kept in by Armbruster at the blue line. Now for Luke Armbruster. That one just won't work. Now on the doorstep for Delorier. That one taken away by Team Quebec.
And they're getting away with fumbling it in their own zone a number of times.
Now to Delorier in front of the net. Shot there. Goes a little wide. Now hit there. Banging and crashing there on the far side of the ice near the boards there. Now that one will just sail up to center. Here's the loose puck race going the other way. Team Quebec is hard on that. Now Virgie will take it in the neutral zone in front of his own bench. Team Quebec with it now. It's Tribalhu with it. He dishes it off to Auclair. Auclair up to Desnoyers. Now just out of reach. Henderhan might have a shot, but Desnoyers will get back to take it.
Good patience there to cycle that puck around, not force anything onto the net.
And now down low, there's going to be a collision a little bit. Elijah Armbruster will pick up the puck. They'll be applied the pressure. Nice feed up that time. That's going to be high stick delayed. So they're going to have to wait till Quebec touches the puck, and they will anyways. Now here's Sevigny behind his own net. Pardon me. Now pass up the right side to Villeneuve. Villeneuve now up to Daigle. Actually, that was pretty slick. I thought Villeneuve still had the puck. Now an on goal shot there. Nice stop by Bilodeau.
Absolutely. Didn't commit too early. Waited for that shot. Went low on him, and Bilodeau was able to collapse down and make that save.
4-2. The shots in favor of Quebec as they lead this one 1-0 off a shorthanded marker.
And that is Bilodeau's glove side on his. He has his glove on his right hand. A lot of the goalies will play glove left hand. So that was on the glove side of Bilodeau. And we will see a lot from Bilodeau. I take that Quebec will be upping those shots. Right now it's a 4-2 shot differential in favor of Quebec, giving them that 1-0 lead with 7 minutes remaining in this first.
For sure, and you can kind of tell, Steve, sorry to interrupt you again, but Manitoba's goal, if you take a look at Bilodeau and take a look at Gravel, Gravel looks a lot taller in net.
Yeah, absolutely.
Loose puck there, that's blown dead.
Yeah, you're right. And Gravel just takes up a lot of space, and it is the difference when they play crossed-legged like that. It gives them that opportunity to stand up on that pad, making himself really big in the net. You'll see that Bilodeau plays with his legs out, and it requires them to fall over sideways to make the saves down low.
Linesman ready to drop the puck, waiting on Mesudi to get into the circle. Linesman directing traffic for Manitoba.
Little tussling going on there.
Yeah, the linesman seen enough for Manitoba. The puck is dropped along the boards. Now that one will be cleared out to center. Can hang on to it. Here's White now with the chance. But easily taken away by Daigle.
Big size difference there between Daigle and White, that's for sure.
And Mesudi will break up that one again. Look at Villeneuve, though. That's a smart play on his end to stay a little wide there and then creep into center.
Classic Quebec style there. They've just got good positional play, and they're just looking for those cross-ice passes.
But they don't do anything complicated. It's just simple stuff. You stay wide, and then you work from there.
Absolutely. Basic hockey, good passing. Cycle the puck. It's working well for them this tournament.
Now that one will be fired down by Henderhan from Gatineau, Quebec. And Manitoba with it behind his own net. It's Maidenuk who passes it up to Rosello, who passes it far side for White. White will stick with it and just send that one down. Now Manitoba. Shot on goal that time. Nice stop by Gravel, who stands tall in his crease to make the stop.
Great to see that by Manitoba. Digging in there, that's the kind of hockey that they're going to have to play if they're going to get something in that net and find the back of the net. But Gravel is really good down low. Looking at Quebec and Manitoba's lineups on your screen there. As I've said before, about the only spots that Gravel really leaves open is those top corners. So that down low hockey, I think they're going to have to catch him off on those offside and get a little squirt of a puck finding its way into one of the corners if they're going to play like that.
Linesman ready to drop the puck. Vint will a little bit of a soft shot on goal go.
Yeah, we'll do that all over again. Try again.
5:33 now to play here in the first. 5 for the shots for Quebec as they lead at 1-0 off the beautiful shorthanded goal from Terry Gregoire from Montreal, Quebec. We're off once again. That one just goes wide of the crease of Gravel. Now up the left side, here's Team Quebec. And over the red line, let's see what they can do. Now dishes it off to Gregoire. Gregoire now with a shot. They score! Terry Gregoire.
Absolutely, and that was that exact thing we were talking about. Gregoire just playing his position wide on that wing, gradually moving in wide open, nobody on him, and easily finds that opposite side of the net.
Yeah, beautiful goal. His second of the game, and we'll watch the replay here. Coming up.
And you won't appreciate it. Gregoire's off your screen there, but just coming up and just good patience there. He comes into your screen there.
And then good patience as well. He waits till the goaltender is slid over and then shooting that far side.
Yeah, and you saw 3 defenders really focused on the middle lane, trying to collapse down. Didn't even pay attention to that trailer on the wing. And as a result, we are at 2-0 for Quebec.
Referee Dylan Duff needing to drop the puck, and we get set to go once again. That one dropped back for Hanrahan, who gets applied the pressure by Delorier, but able to get that pass off, though it'll be picked up by Burgeon in front of his own net, or in front of his own bench, sorry. Here's Manitoba in the neutral zone in front of the penalty box. That would just get sent down. Now against the boards, Manitoba looking to set things up, but Quebec will just send that one around the boards. Burgeon trying to hold the line that time. Just doesn't work for him. And now Armbruster will take it away. Now that one will be flipped up. Waugh almost had that one in his back pocket. Just didn't work for him. That one will get fired down. Armbruster will pick it up. Now a risky decision there.
Absolutely, going right in front of his net.
Now here's Manitoba. Now up right side up to Denoyer. He'll decide to fire that one down and let his boys go chase that one. Now Burgeon. Looks like he'll be the first to lose puck, and he will be. It takes a collision right away from Auclair. And Auclair laying a couple hits there on Burgeon. And that one will get sent around the boards. Let's see if Sevigny can keep it in. Ends up not reaching him, actually. Now here's Henderhan with it. That'll get flipped up to center. That one will be waved off. Daigle will pick up the loose puck. Actually, no, it'll end up being Manitoba, for they're unable to get a hold of the loose puck, and here they come the other way. The other way, sorry.
Good drive by Klassen there.
For sure, and we've seen a lot of good things from him in this tournament so far.
We sure have.
Stanley, Manitoba, forward. Now in over the blue line is Mezoudi, who actually can't hang on to it, but there's going to be a penalty coming to Mezoudi here.
Yeah, a little chippy there after the whistle. They'll get themselves sorted. Manitoba definitely not happy with that kind of penalty.
It's going to be holding the call on this one. I thought it might be more like roughing, but either way, it'll work out.
I agree, yeah. But as you said, either way, it's 2 minutes. Certainly the captain Maidenuk not happy about that.
So it'll go the other way. 2:50 to play here in the first period. 6-4 the shots for Team Quebec. It's they lead at 2-0. One off a shorthanded goal and one on the even strength. So let's see if they'll get another shorthanded goal if Manitoba can get on the board.
Yeah, Manitoba's been very good on the penalty kills this tournament. We'll see if they can capitalize on this penalty for them.
Gravel nets to drop the puck, and we're all set to go here. And just look here on it's off your guys' screen at home, but Daigle was way out, ready for a pass there to break out, kind of how they got their first goal of the game, shorthanded.
Yeah,
just a breakout like that.
That's exactly it. And as I've said previously, sometimes the best defense is that good offense, and they're going to use their speed and try to hold Manitoba players back so that they can't take advantage of having the extra man. And now Daigle with a chance.
Shot there, goes a little wide and takes a funny bounce and goes off the back of the net, and sticking with it through traffic, can't really get it on there, and Daigle takes a bit of a bump. Now it's put away by Manitoba, but these fans are cheering like they just cleared the puck on a penalty kill, but on the power
Again,
play.
absolutely. Again, we see Quebec, and it seems like when they're short-handed, they're the one that has the advantage. 58 seconds left in that penalty.
Now here's Manitoba. They'll look to fire something down and get something going for him. Sevigny, that one just out of reach. Looks like he'll still be able to pick it up. See what he decides to do here. That one just goes a little wide of Eau Claire, but think they don't really have to worry about an icing. So if it goes wide, it's okay, because then they still get the clear out of it. And Eau Claire, if he could have stuck with it, he might have had the go-ahead on the wraparound there.
Yep, absolutely. Would have been a tough one, but for sure, he had the speed, got to it. Just couldn't hang on to that one.
25 seconds to go on the power play for Manitoba, but Quebec is winning the zone time now, and let's see how Quebec plays this one. They'll just decide to fire that one back in. Probably the smartest play, especially with only 15 seconds to go on the power play. No need for any late chances.
Exactly, with that 2-0 lead, they're in a comfort zone right now with 57 seconds left in the period.
Now Gregoire dishes that one off to Eau Claire. Eau Claire now shot that time. Nice stop by Bilodeau as Messoudi comes out of the box for Quebec, and that one will go down for an icing without a doubt.
Yeah, and Quebec looking very comfortable in this game. Definitely playing their game, controlling the pace, controlling the passes, having a fair bit of opportunity in the offensive zone. But Manitoba has demonstrated an opportunity to take back control of the game in front of the net in the offense. And they're playing a decent defense right now.
So 38 seconds go here in the opening frame of game number 13 of the tournament at the 2025 Para Ice Hockey Championships here in Bridgewater. Daigle still with it now, has two Manitoba players with him. Drops it back for Hanrahan. Now sent down low. That one just out of reach of Villeneuve. Villeneuve will actually stick with it. That was a sneaky play there to end up not dishing it off. About 10 seconds to go. Maybe one last chance for Manitoba. And great job that time from Denwillier to knock him off the puck. Tom running down, about a second to go. That one will be blocked through traffic before it reaches Gravel. And that's going to do it for the opening frame here between Manitoba and Quebec at the 2025 Para Ice Hockey Championships. After the first period of play, Team Quebec 2, Team Manitoba no score, 6-4 the shots, 14 Team Quebec, sorry. Steve, what do you think Team Manitoba needs to do out of the break? I mean, it's still only a 2-0 game, and as I say, 2-goal lead's the worst lead in hockey.
Well, and previously we've seen Manitoba come out big in the second period, so we're looking to see that again, the really high intensity after they get a chance to talk with their coaches. And we haven't really been saying the Armbruster name much yet this game, and they're the ones that we have looked at previously to get those goals on this team. So I'm really looking for Elijah Armbruster to step up and lead this team in the second period. And again, get those fans in there and cheering for them and get a little bit of an extra boost. And that'll cover it for our period one. We'll see you again in period two. My name is Steve Romig, and with Easton Shoup. Don't go anywhere.
Our mission at the Shriners Hospitals for Children Canada is to really make the lives of patients and families the best that it can be, and really lift up patients who need our services to fulfill the most optimal version of themselves.
We take care of all orthopedic problems in pediatrics, but we super specialize in really rare conditions and complex conditions that involve orthopedics and other specialties.
A lot of the patients that will come to the motion lab are surgical candidates. So the surgeon may be able to do a great plan with just medical imaging, with the clinical history of the patient and some observation, whereas the motion lab will bring real numbers that we can measure that the eye cannot catch necessarily. And so it allows us to be more precise in the diagnostic of the patient, and then it allows us to better plan the treatment.
Rehabilitation is not easy. It's a tough part. So when we do rehabilitation, we did the surgery. Now we have the tough part, moving with difficulties. And it's saying, okay, now you're gonna have to do something that you might not wanna do. So how do we make that enticing for a patient to do this? And when I see parents writing back and saying, going to physio is the best part of my day, I said, oh, we're doing definitely something right.
Without Shriners, I know my leg wouldn't be straight. And Shriners It's really special because there's only 2 doctors that can do this type of operation. So I know I couldn't just go to another hospital. It was here or I wouldn't do it. So everything is super for me and the future looks bright ahead.
Shriners is incredibly unique because we take the time for our patients. We take the time to listen, to understand what their needs are. Our team in social services, we try and make it as simple as we can for our families. Families coming from out of province, having a greeter meet them at the airport, drive them to the hotel. We make sure that our families are comfortable in what they do and in their decision of coming to our hospital, knowing that our people are the best that you can have right now.
Yeah, this place is definitely like a family because they treat you very nicely here. They treat you like you're one of them. When you come in for like an x-ray, like, hey there Michael, you know, how are you? Yeah, everyone that works here definitely has positive attitude, always smiles on your faces. I know a lot of people here, I love them like a family.
You know, when you're a parent that has a child that's disabled, either wheelchair or has some disability, it's tough on the parents. And you know, when they come to the Shriners and they see other parents that have the same kind of child as they do, it's almost comforting in a way, you know, and they can exchange ideas. I can't tell you how many patients became friends from different backgrounds completely. You know, French or English, it doesn't matter, because they have the same kind of disability, you know, they become friends because they see each other in the clinic together, and sometimes we make sure to invite them at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, we make that effort, you know, so that these conditions, that these kids, you know, feel good, and the parents feel great about that. And I think that that's something that we pride ourselves in.
During the treatment, when it's really hard on him because he goes through a lot of emotions, anxiety, we always have one nurse that comes to distract him, to play games with him. They bring their virtual goggles so that he doesn't think of the pain that he's going to go through. All these little details make the Shriner so special.
We cover a wide range from the molecular to the bedside of the patient. And that was the vision from the get-go. And I think the best example that this vision works is that this facility has developed a standard of care for 3 pediatric metabolic bone diseases. So those now are the treatments that are used throughout the world that were developed here at Shriners Hospitals for Children Canada. And I think it is unique because it has a very high-performing research center, which not all hospitals have.
We are becoming experts, and in certain cases we are identified as the leaders in North America in rare and complex bone-related disease. For certain, we have the biggest group of patients for osteogenesis imperfecta in North America. But that being said, we want to be identified as a leader in pediatric orthopedics so that when your kid has a rare disease or complex, it's obvious that you're going to come at Shriners. And we want to be the place in Canada. That's part of our vision.
Shriners is special because they have like the family kind of vibe. Here you're really going to have care, you're going to be informed, you're going to have support. That is really important. They are human here, not just nurses, not just physicians, not just doctors. They are human. They have human values, and this is what makes them different than others. The Shriners are really the one that has my heart.
What we offer children and families goes beyond clinical care. I'm just really grateful to work here because people from every department, everyone really has this passion of giving back, whether it's people who work in maintenance, in the kitchen, in audiovisual services, in research, in clinical, at the reception. Every person has a role and makes a difference. And when you see this teamwork and everyone coming together with their energies, everyone wants to make a difference in the child's life. And it's really obvious from this kindness and this motivation to do better. To me, this is what really makes the Shriners special.
Casual with it. Center. Nice deep. Go. Man on, man on. I have no idea.
Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome back to day number 2, game 13 of the tournament here at the 2025 Para Ice Hockey Championships here at the Lunenburg County Lifestyle Center in the Clearwater Seafoods Arena here in beautiful Bridgewater, Nova Scotia. My name is Easton Troop alongside Stephen Rombeek. Steve, what can we expect in the second period?
Yeah, as I said before, I think Quebec's been controlling this game. Manitoba needs to find their game within that and find some way to find the back of the net. Need to get some more shots on net. A 4-6 differential there, which isn't bad, but they need to find the back of the net with those. Noticed at the start of this period, Cole Maidenuk, the captain of Manitoba, having a good word with the referee prior to, and the referee sharing that with the captain of Quebec, whatever that was about.
And here's Vint over the blue line. It'll be picked up by Tribalhu. Drop back for Denoyer. Cleared away. Now Auclair, the left side, making a move past Armbruster. Auclair still with it. Now broken up, and it'll be picked up by Vint once again. Trying to clear it out, though. I believe that was broken up by Team Quebec. Along the boards that time. It'll pop out to the neutral zone. Into the Quebec end, sorry. And now here's Team Quebec in their own end. It's Ref Fats in his own end. Still sticking with it. That one picked off by Vint. Nearly a scoring opportunity, but it's taken right back by Team Quebec's Gregoire, who has 2 goals to his name so far in this one. Tribalhu gets that one taken away by Team Manitoba. And here they come, and that pass out of reach, and that one might be icing. Actually, Armbruster putting up a fight there, and icing waved off.
Great forecheck on Armbruster there. That's exactly what I wanted to see, as I said as we ended the first there. Looking for Armbruster to pick that pace up.
Now into the boards is Ref Fat and Vergie. Now out front for Auclair. Auclair's shot blocked by Maidenuk in front. Now drop back for Gregoire. Another shot and another stop that time for Logan Bilodeau.
Yeah, great stop by Bilodeau there. And very physical play again by Maidenuk. Definitely has a physical presence on the ice, trying to get in the heads of those Quebec players, not allowing them to walk in uncontested towards his goalie. And that puck did find its way there, but not too much of a concern for Bilodeau. Still making a decent stop. Being solid in the net thus far.
Linesman drops the puck, and we're off once again. This picked up by Team Manitoba, as Maidenuk plays that one up the center of the ice. Now hit that time, going up the right side. Here's Delorier. Delorier will look to cut to the center of the ice. He'll let a shot go on Gravel and easily into the trapper, and he'll swallow it up for the whistle with 13-12 to go here in the second period.
That's what they keep doing, though, Easton. They need to keep getting that puck on that net. As much as Gravel is a very challenging wall to get around, they need to put that puck there, look for some rebounds potentially off that big pad of his.
I'd like to see Manitoba try and get him moving around a little bit. We haven't really seen much of that in this tournament, not that I remember at least. This team's trying to get him moved around.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be one of the things in Manitoba's main playbook. They like to bring it down low and crash in front of the net. A little delay here, waiting for the player to get out of the zone.
Now up to Mezoudi, though. That one's taken away by Delorier and drop back for Armbruster. Now up the left side. Rolling puck is taken away by Hanrahan. And Manitoba actually almost came up with that one as Quebec will bank feed that one up after taking a bump, and almost a chance that time for Mezoudi once again.
Yeah, Delorier coming in there and just giving a nice little check there. Little how you doing, letting them know that they can play a physical game as well, which is very important for Manitoba to show Quebec, not let them walk all over them. But again, Quebec is showing off their passing skills as we've seen this entire tournament and just controlling the game that way. We'll see if Manitoba can get some perimeter passes going around here and get some traffic in front of the net, get a long shot on, maybe get a screen.
Linesman drops the puck. Sorry, as we're off once again. It's Armbruster who tries to fire that one down. Picked up by Henderhan. That one looks like it will go the length, and I don't see anybody really coming close. Mesoudi kind of put on the burners a little bit at the end, but ultimately going to be an icing.
And you saw Armbruster shoot it down there. He's definitely got the power, and there's a number of players on that team that have the power to take those long shots. Look at our leaderboard here. You can see Quebec has that 3 wins. They've not had any issues yet. No losses. 14 goals for them. Pointing out Ontario's 24 goals, and that came from that last game that they played. So they've had an opportunity to really rack up the goals for numbers there. Back to the action.
And now for Vint in front that time. Vint will play that one along the boards once again. Now that one pass up through the gut of the ice. Here's Daglu entering the attacking end. Let's see what he can do with it. He'll let one go. Scores!
What a great shot. Just launches a lightning bolt straight into the top corner. Beating Bilodeau high on the glove side, I believe. What a great shot from the wing there.
Jonathan Daglu coming out of Boucherville, Quebec. Let's take a look at the replay of this beautiful goal.
As you can see, it was a nice lead pass. Singular effort. Just gets it behind the defense. Again, I've pointed out previously, beautiful shot there previously, that those defenders, they can't skate backwards like you can when you're upright. So having a player come up behind you, they'll use you as a screen. It's really hard to track them, and so they'll flip from side to side. You'll see that go on throughout this tournament. Allows them to get that open shot.
Now Gregoire will play that one up just a little out of reach of Denmoyer. And now here's Team Quebec with it now. It's Denmoyer who walks in. That cross-crease feed goes a little wide, and now Team Manitoba will just look to clear that one away. Rafat will easily pick it up by himself near the Manitoba bench, and listen to these Manitoba passionate fans as that one's dropped back, and almost a dangerous opportunity for Klassen of Manitoba.
Yeah, Klassen's showing a good forecheck on a number of these plays. The Manitoba defense is hanging back quite a bit. You may not see it on your screen when they're on the offense, but they're hanging back beyond the blue line.
And now that one will go into the corner, actually. Bit of our blind spot upstairs. Still down low. Finally, Quebec has it out in front. That one will be picked up by Rafat at the low point area. Makes a move that time, kind of getting tangled up, able to work it down low, and here's Quebec now in the slot that time. They score!
Wow, and you know what? That was a good demonstration that Quebec can play that kind of game as well. Normally they're cycling that puck on the outside and looking for those cross-ice passes, but that was a bit more gritty hockey in the middle there. Just doing a great job of controlling the puck, waiting for that opportunity, and then having that other player right in the net. I'm not sure who it was for Quebec, but they sat right in there. Number 2, right in the net there, just waiting.
And if Gallant can get a tip in front, that's actually going to be Gregoire's third of the hockey game.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, we'll see when we get the official ruling. Go ahead, Steve.
I was just going to say that's bringing us to a 4-0 lead.
You are correct. This one's starting to get out of hand, but Manitoba is not going to give up with their fight. So that is going to be Gregoire's third of the game. From Rafat and Trebalhu. Now down low, Team Quebec with it. Beat applied the pressure heavily.
And that brings Gregoire to 7 for the tournament, I believe. Racking up those points on that stat board.
Now Manitoba's actually going to come out with this one in front to Armbruster. That one just poked away by Daigle.
Yeah, that was a really good chance there, but good defense. Again, Quebec being very patient in their own zone as well. When they have that puck, they're very confident with their ability to control it. They're not willing to just give it up. Manitoba fans looking for a penalty on that one. We saw a stick come across the player.
That one fired back in by Armbruster, and these fans are passionate. I'd be excited to see Manitoba get one here.
Yeah, so would I. You can hear them on every play. They're just cheering that team on.
There's obviously a guy here with some drums as well. At least that's what it sounds like. They got all the noisemakers. Now Armbruster will play that one aside over to Virgie. That one going a little out of reach. Hit there along the boards.
Oh, Messid's got to be careful here. Went in high with the elbow there, and then some big pushing by Messid. And now that's going to start something here. Little altercation. Messid's been a very physical player all tournament. Not afraid to get in there and scrap with anyone.
The referee has pointed some people towards the penalty box, so we might get a couple penalties. I believe he's just pointed 5-on-5 to the benches, so it probably will just be coincidental for coincidental minors for roughing would be my guess, or 4-on-4 maybe. Either way, it's going to be even strength, I believe.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Let's see that on the replay. Into the corner. Little altercation. And this is all after the Mesidi hit. A couple punches thrown from both sides. Just a little friendly hockey shoving and pushing.
So it's going to go to Team Manitoba's number 13, Bernard Rosello, and Team Quebec's number 19, Philippe Villeneuve. Roughing is the call.
It's always good to see neither team putting up with another team taking an easy shot at anybody. Keeping everybody in check with those little shoves and pushes after a play. Makes it a really good, interesting game. Not sure what's going on there. Might have been something with the scoreboard that they're assessing.
I believe it's 5-on-5 actually. The clock hasn't started yet.
And now it starts to run.
Now that one caught in the feet of Delorier. And there's a bit of a play there. Flicking the stick up, and that one will go a little high on the shot, but just at center ice there. Manitoba's player flipped Quebec's stick out of his hands there.
Yeah, and we saw that happen last game. And where Ontario took one of the sticks and kind of carried it along, and they left it on the ice, and that was turned out to be the only goal that they got was from that rogue stick. So sometimes it works in the favor of the other team. Most of the time, though, losing a stick is fairly detrimental to the player.
Now that will be fired down by Team Manitoba.
One minute left on the penalty there.
I believe they're actually coincidental, Steve, so I think they meant to take down both of those, so that they'll end up being out. When the timer on your screen hits 0, the next whistle after that is when they'll be out of the box.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment, because we are playing 5-on-5 of hockey right now.
Maydenock will fire that one down, and Delorier will crash and bang into the corner with Trabal, who now picked up by Maydenock once again. That one taking a little bump. Now up the left side, here's Manitoba. They'll fire that one back in. Staying on side. Now that one broken up by Wall. Now in front, that one goes a little wide of White. There's going to be a couple penalties behind the play.
Yeah, and I didn't notice what was going on back there, but certainly some words between the two.
So yeah, the penalty did get erased there on the scoreboard.
Yep.
And so to the box. It's going to be Gwendal Trebal-Houle for roughing. I believe the referee signaled.
And Trebal-Houle racking up some penalty minutes. He's already got 16 penalty minutes in this tournament. See if that continues. A little bit opportunity for Manitoba here to get something going on a power play. Still sorting out the clock, I think, on the scoreboard.
I think the argument might be is they did wait a couple seconds to start the clock there.
Yeah.
Last time, as they were just worried about trying to clear those penalties. So that could be the instance they want to take a couple ticks off, and then now this penalty's erased. Maybe they'll put up a fresh 2 minutes. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So the puck is dropped, getting ready to be fought for. And Gregoire will fire that one in. As Armbruster has it, it'll be sent back in the far side. So next whistle, both coincidental minors will be out of the box. That's from the scrum we had a little bit earlier. So now that one will clear out of the zone. Now Mesoudi and Armbruster avoid a collision, but then once again, Mesoudi will go in with a shoulder check.
And we'll see if Quebec does the same plays as they did previously on these penalty kills that look a lot more like penalty opportunities for them.
Now here comes Team Quebec shorthanded once again. They have one shorthanded goal to their name so far.
Playing short just seems to get them riled up and drive the intensity a little bit one notch higher.
For sure, and almost a narrow collision there. Now Armbruster has it. In on goal with the shot there.
That's a great chance by Armbruster, and that's exactly what we need to see more of. Elijah's need to pick that up, and he is doing that there. It's great to see we can have a game on our hands here.
A little under 30 seconds to go on the power play for Team Manitoba, but it looks like Team Quebec's in full control of this. Though Manitoba is looking to set up an offense, and they'll get a shot on goal. That's easily covered up by Gravel.
Still a good idea. Just keep, as I said, keep getting those perimeter shots in, crash the net. You never know what's going to pop out. Quebec is so good at crashing the net, though, on those to defend, just in case there is a little bit of a rebound. As you can see at the end of that play, there was 3 big Quebec players just waiting for that rebound and daring any of those Manitoba players to try to come on in.
And Villeneuve and Rosello finally back to their respective benches. And that one will be cleared away. A little over 10 seconds to go on the power play for Manitoba, but unless they get a long stretch feed, it's probably going to do it. Because we're already down to 5 seconds, and they just touch up on the puck. And actually, Eau Claire is going to look to set something up. Man out of the box for Team Quebec and drop back for Sevigny. A shot there. Actually, maybe it wasn't a shot there as he still has the puck, but looked like he might have faked one, actually.
I think he kind of fanned on the one-timer, but maintained control.
That's kind of what I thought had happened, but tried to cover it up so I wasn't wrong.
That's right. We'll call it a fake for sure.
Now that one gets played up for Trebal-Houle. Now over to Denvoyer. Denvoyer with a shot. That one goes a little wide of the cage. Under 4 minutes to go now in the middle frame. 9-7 the shots for Team Quebec as they lead at 4-0. Now that one will be chipped out to center once again. Now here's Quebec in the neutral zone, actually. That one gets caught under a Manitoba player, and it's picked up by Team Quebec, though. Once again, it's Denvoyer. 3-on-3. That one actually broke it up, but Denvoyer will pick it back up. That one sent back in. I was surprised he didn't wind up for a shot there, but the patience is unreal on this Team Quebec team. And that one's dropped back for Eau Claire. Jabal Hool gets that one taken away, and here comes Team Manitoba up the right side, and a nice hit that time from Denvoyer.
Yeah, I just couldn't get any steam going there.
Now here's a chance. Jabal Hool over to Masudi. And the collision that time.
Quite the collision into the goaltender there. The back of his head as well. Little scuffle after.
Yeah, I believe Jabal Hool actually shot that one in after the whistle, so not really a gamesmanship play there or a sportsmanlike play there.
No, absolutely not.
But the net comes off, and we'll get a whistle. 9-7 the shots now for Team Quebec. 4-0 still your score. 2:59 to play. We'll take a look at the replay here on this one.
And right from that good hit that created that play.
Just look after the whistle here, Steve. After the net comes off, I should say. Kind of pops out there as you see it, and then fired up top, and Luke Armbruster wasn't really a fan of that. This one's actually going to come outside to the neutral zone in front of the Team Quebec penalty box.
Yeah, no reason for that, and all the players were facing the other direction, the back of the heads, and just fired it right into there. Not a smart thing to do.
Now the puck is dropped. It's under the Manitoba sled that time. The left side, that one will be fired back down. It'll be picked up by actually Greg Ware of Team Quebec. Has Daigle out in front if he can get it there. He does. Might have just waited a little too long. And now drop back for Henrahan. Can't get it off. Has Missoudi with him, but nice collision that time. Armbruster falls to the ice that time. Virgie will pick it up in the corner. Beat apply the pressure right away, though. Now putting him up against the board side down there. It's Messoudi. We'll see what happens. And we'll get rimmed around the boards. It's actually going to be picked up by Daigle once again of Team Quebec. Here's Daigle. Drop down for Messoudi in front of the net. Can't really get much on it, and it's taken away by Maidenuk up the right side. Long feed over to Delorier. Just under 2 minutes to play here in the second. Decides to just fire that one down.
Manitoba defense was doing a great job of holding off those backdoor players from Quebec. The Quebec players do like to sit right on either side of the net.
Now in on goal with a shot. That one just goes a little high.
Looked like it was deflected by Messoudi there.
I think it was. And that one shot it maybe a little too hard. That one will reach Bilodeau, who's out of his crease to play it. Gregoire and Maidenuk will collide in. And Maidenuk lays a good hit that time on Gregoire. And Armbruster will come in as well, join the party. And now Denvoyer catches Bilodeau way out of his crease, and he finds the back of the net late in the second period.
Yeah, Bilodeau really committed there. And you know what? Those two Manitoba players going in there to make those hit, Armbruster and Maidenuk, you know, it kind of took them out of the play, and it left no defenders lack. We'll see if we can see that on the replay. See how far back we got. There we go. First hit there, and Armbruster decides to go in. So now you've got 2 players out and 3 Quebec players there. And as much as there was a good effort by 24 to come across, kind of left Bilodeau alone and had to commit to that one.
You got to credit Denvoyer there. He had to make a nice move to get around the defender, but it's one of those is if you can get by 1, you'll get by 2.
Absolutely.
So we approach the last minute of play here in the second period, and Team Quebec has been outstanding in this one. And now here's Denvoyer. He'll stop near the low blue line area. Now shot that time will get blocked through traffic. Lamp may have a rebound opportunity, though it's taken away by Manitoba. Now here comes Team Manitoba up the right side. It's Armbruster who avoids the collision that time, actually twice. Now a hit there to open ice. Good shoulder-to-shoulder check. Steve, do you think that one was clean? Some Manitoba parents think differently, but I thought it looked clean from up here.
Yeah, that was definitely a clean hit in sledge hockey. That is one of the looks violent, but it's not so bad, and it is one of the main types of hits that we are going to see in a tournament like this.
For sure, it's all about grit and effort. And if you're a ref here, how do you think you approach that? Do you let them play a lot, or do you kind of tighten up a little bit?
No, I think especially in this game, we're not seeing too much scrapping going on. So you let them play a little bit. Certainly, if it's going to be a dangerous play, we have to take care of that. And the officials have been really good at jumping in for those scenarios.
And I think referee Dylan Dauphney has been excellent so far in this one, approaching the calls, like with the coincidentals and everything in this game, except for, I believe, maybe 1 or 2 teeing penalties. We've just been roughing. And most of the time, he's taken both. There was one instance where he took just the one.
Yeah, great officiating across the board this tournament. I've been really impressed with that. You're not going to be able to catch everything, but they've been doing a great job. And we have that benefit of some video replays where they do not.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they could call us here upstairs and let us know, but there really hasn't been anything that they would quote-unquote need to review anyways, so everything's been fairly well done. So my name is Easton Schuchter alongside Steve Rombeek. We'll be right back here for the third period of play. Don't go too far.
Our mission at the Shriners Hospitals for Children Canada is to really make the lives of patients and families the best that it can be, and really lift up patients who need our services to fulfill the most optimal version of themselves.
We take care of all orthopedic problems in pediatrics, but we super specialize in really rare conditions and complex conditions that involve orthopedics and other specialties.
A lot of the patients that will come to the motion lab are surgical candidates. So the surgeon may be able to do a great plan with just medical imaging, with the clinical history of the patient and some observation, whereas the motion lab will bring real numbers that we can measure that the eye cannot catch necessarily. And so it allows us to be more precise in the diagnostic of the patient, and then it allows us to better plan the treatment.
Rehabilitation is not easy. It's a tough part. So when we do rehabilitation, we did the surgery. Now we have the tough part, moving with difficulties, and it's saying, okay, now you're gonna have to do something that you might not wanna do. So how do we make that enticing for a patient to do this? And when I see parents writing back and saying, going to physio is the best part of my day, I said, oh, we're doing definitely something right.
Without Shriners, I know my leg wouldn't be straight. And Shriners, it's really special because there's only 2 doctors that can do this type of operation. So I know I couldn't just go to another hospital. It was here or I wouldn't do it. So everything is super for me and the future looks bright ahead.
Shriners is incredibly unique because we take the time for our patients. We take the time to listen, to understand what their needs are. Our team in social services, we try and make it as simple as we can for our families. Families coming from out of province, having a greeter meet them at the airport, drive them to the hotel. We make sure that our families are comfortable in what they do and in their decision of coming to our hospital, knowing that our people are the best that you can have right now.
Yeah, this place is definitely like a family because they treat you very nicely here. They treat you like you're one of them. When you come in for like an x-ray, like, hey there, Michael, you know, how are you? Yeah, everyone that works here definitely has positive attitude, always smiles on your faces. I know a lot of people here. I love them like a family.
You know, when you're a parent that has a child that's disabled, either wheelchair or has some disability, it's tough on the parents. And you know, when they come to the Shriners and they see other parents that have the same kind of child as they do, it's almost comforting in a way, you know, and they can exchange ideas. I can't tell you how many patients became friends from different backgrounds completely. You know, French or English, it doesn't matter, because they have the same kind of disability. You know, they become friends because they see each other in the clinic together, and sometimes we make sure to invite them at the same time. You know what I mean? Like we make that effort, you know, so that these conditions, that these kids, you know, feel good, and the parents feel great about that. And I think that that's something that we pride ourselves in.
During the treatment, when it's really hard on him because he goes through a lot of emotions, anxiety, we always have one nurse that comes to distract him, to play games with him. They bring their virtual goggles so that he doesn't think of the pain that he's going to go through. All these little details make the Shriners so special.
We cover a wide range from the molecular to the bedside of the patient. And that was the vision from the get-go. And I think the best example that this vision works is that this facility has developed a standard of care for 3 pediatric metabolic bone diseases. So those now are the treatments that are used throughout the world that were developed here at Shriners Hospitals for Children Canada. And I think it is unique because it has a very high-performing research center, which not all hospitals have.
We are becoming experts, and in certain cases we are identified as the leaders in North America in rare and complex bone-related disease. For certain, we have the biggest group of patients for osteogenesis imperfecta in North America. But that being said, we want to be identified as a leader in pediatric orthopedics so that when your kid has a rare disease or complex, it's obvious that you're going to come at Shriners. And we want to be the place in Canada. That's part of our vision.
Shriners is special because they have like the family kind of vibe. Here you're really going to have care. You're going to be informed. You're going to have support. That is really important. They are human here, not just nurses, not just physicians, not just doctors. They are human. They have human values, and this is what makes them different than others. The Shriners are really the one that has my heart.
What we offer children and families goes beyond clinical care. I'm just really grateful to work here because people from every department, everyone really has this passion of giving back, whether it's people who work in maintenance, in the kitchen, in audiovisual services, in research, in clinical, at the reception. Every person has a role and makes a difference. And when you see this teamwork and everyone coming together with their energies, everyone wants to make a difference in the child's life. And it's really obvious from this kindness and this motivation to do better. To me, this is what really makes the Shriners special.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for game number 13 of the 2025 Para Ice Hockey Championships here at the Lunenburg County Lifestyle Center and the Clearwater Seafoods Arena here in not so sunny Bridgewater, Nova Scotia. My name's Easton Chuk, joined alongside Steve Rombeek. Steve, man, this game is 5-0, but it's felt closer.
Sure has. Manitoba's been putting a great effort forth, and they continue to do so. I must say, out of all the games I've seen today, for the fourth game of each team's tournament, both these teams have been maintaining the intensity and energy level.
That shot there goes a little high, but yeah, definitely big energy. Still coming from Manitoba. Oh, what a play. Bilodeau will cover it up.
Just shoved that against the post. Mere millimeters, Daigle would have had that in the net. What a great pass.
Yeah, that would have been his second of the game.
And I'm actually kind of, to be honest, I'm surprised Daigle hasn't had more on the board this tournament. He is really showing that opportunity. He's creating situations where he's got great shots on net. Missing the net a fair bit wide and high. I'm sure he's going to chalk up some points later in this tournament.
Seems like a younger guy out there. That could just be me, but like just looking at his facial expressions and like looking, he doesn't really have much of a beard or facial hair by the looks of it.
Yeah, you could be very right there. He's a good size, but we've got players from all ages in this tournament.
For sure, and that's always fun to see how much the younger guys can keep up with the older guys, but I feel like at this age, when they're getting to be about 16, 17 years old, can the older guys keep up with the younger guys in some instances?
Definitely agree. As a player at 45, I'm feeling that for sure.
And that one played over for Villeneuve. What a chance, and no goal on that one.
Absolutely. They'll call that down. Goalie being run into the net by 19 there.
That's an easy call to make, though. Sorry.
Yeah, Villeneuve just ran right in. We've got a replay on that one. Great pass forward into the zone. Cross-ice pass like they've been doing all the time. Great opportunity. Just couldn't pull the trigger on that one.
I believe the ref signaled, that they were in the blue paint, but I think you could have goaled.
So it was for that crease violation.
Like I was about to say there, before the public address announcer spoke and we got the official ruling, but I thought that the ref had pointed around the blue painted area in front of the crease, or in front of the net, I should say, because I guess the painted area is the crease. I thought that it was probably going to be that as he signaled around it, or it could have been a case for goaltender interference. Either way, it shouldn't have counted, and it didn't. Referee right there to make the call.
Absolutely.
Sevigny actually unable to come up with that one.
White doing a good job there fighting for that puck.
Pardon me, and
tying up.
Sorry, go ahead there, Steve. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
Tying up Sevigny.
That one's going to go off the hand of the linesman.
And we just had a comment online, and the youngest players will actually be 13 years old that are playing in this tournament.
Man, even more impressive. Especially the fact that it's been a little difficult to pinpoint, especially just pick them out. So they've done a good job sticking with the older guys in that instance. It's really fun to see that too, and it's a great experience, especially at that young of an age, where they can continue with the sport for longer and play this tournament a few more times. Hold up, Steve. That was a beautiful save by Logan Bilodeau.
Yeah, absolutely. Not sure if we have a replay on that one. Might just catch the very tail end of that.
So now we're going to get the full one coming into the zone. It's picked up along the boards there by Quebec and set it out in front, but before that pass could even get across, Bilodeau out there to make the stop, and actually that could have been a shot on goal. It's kind of hard to tell there on the replay.
Yeah, it may have slid wide, but certainly not willing to take the chance there. Got that big glove on that. We'll freeze it up.
Smart play there as Bilodeau is all set to go once again. Linesman ready to drop the puck as she does, and we're off. Now that one sent back in. It's picked up by Manitoba. in their own end. Fired up the right side is picked up, and Mesudi will hang on to it. And now it's taken away by Manitoba. Here's Delorier actually can't hang on to it and gives it up. Here's Daigle now in on goal. Has Glenn on the first side if he can get it there, though broken up by Maidenach. One goal high off the glass is picked up by Trebal Hool. And that one broken up. Here's Mesudi. And on goal, that one will go a little wide. And Armbruster still with it. And we haven't really called any of the three, I assume, brothers or relatives name so far in this one.
Yeah, as I said, we did see a little bit in the second there. Elijah coming out, making some decent plays, decent efforts, a couple long shots, but nothing substantial.
Here's Armbruster the other way. It's Elijah, as we were just talking about there, but a good job by Glant to get back. Over to Daigle now, and over the blue line. Now that one over to Mesudi. Can't quite hang on to that one. Now Armbruster in there to break that one up a little bit. Now sent down along the boards. Here's Eau Claire with it down low, being contested by Armbruster. Picked up by Hanrahan. Now down low to Eau Claire. Broken up that time and gets poked away. And now here's Denwillier with it. Denwillier now behind the net. And that one will slide through the blue crease, actually. Not really much of a chance there. And here's Daigle. That one will get fired back in. Here's Denwillier, slid over across, and they score.
Yeah, it was just a matter of time that they were going to get one of those. Kept sliding that puck right through the crease and right centering passes over and over again. Quebec's doing a great job at just finding those lanes and cycling their players around. Paid off on that one. We'll see that on the replay here.
Jonathan Daigle gets his second of the game from Boucherville, Quebec. A beautiful play this time. Bank feet over, and then on the first side, just really has to stick that right stick over and tap it in the back of the net.
Absolutely. 22, the defender there for Manitoba. Positionally had a great job going there. We can see the fans here from Manitoba. Little shot of them. Look at that crowd. 6-0, but it hasn't put their spirits down at all, encouraging their team to get back right back in this one.
And now that one broken up, and it's picked up by Quebec. Actually, that one will fall loose once again, and Quebec obviously able to take that one back. Eau Claire will try and find that backdoor feed once again to Denwillier this time.
And as they reset, I've noticed that the Quebec team has great confidence in their players amongst themselves. They're really willing to make hard passes, long passes back up to the point, and they rely on each other to be in position and be willing and be able to make a good play with it. Now a shot down there.
That one actually kind of caught Gravel a little weirdly that time, I think, but Maidenach had a good shot as well.
Nothing too concerning, but certainly took a little bit of a bounce in front of him. Kind of a rolling puck. Had to make sure he handled it properly.
9:40 here to play in the third period. 14-9 the shots for Team Quebec, and they lead this one 6-0.
And only a 5-shot differential between the two teams. And though it's a 6-0 lead, Manitoba's been doing a great job with keeping the shot count low.
Now going forward off the draw, it'll be picked up by Vint in the corner for Manitoba. Now that one broken up, and now Manitoba will get it back. Pass it to the slot that time. Just nobody there to take it. Now here's Gregoire up the left side. He'll bank feed that one up to Trebal, who over the blue line this time has Mesudi with him and decides not to give it to him. And that one will reach Bilodeau in the crease, and he'll easily cover it up with 9:19 to play here in the period.
Yeah, Manitoba's going to really have to dig deep. And as I've said with the other games that we've seen that we're getting a little away from one of the teams, going into this last portion of the third, if they can just end this day with getting a goal, that will go a long way for the psychological aspect of the game going into the next day of play, which is the seeded day.
Yes, we head into all the important games. That'll start off with the 3 seed, facing off against the 6 seed. And then it'll be the number 2 seed facing off against the 7 seed. Then we'll see the 4 seed take it off the 5 seed. Actually, the number 1 seed will get a bye into the semis. And then the semifinals will conclude later in the evening. And then on Sunday, we'll have our placement game at 8 a.m. We'll take our bronze medal game at 10:30, then gold at 1 p.m. So we'll be able to wrap up a little early on Sunday.
Yeah, long tournament for these players. As we've said, the energy levels have decreased, especially on this day 2 of this round robin on game 4s for most of these teams. But as I've said, for this particular game, giving us some good action, and Manitoba's done a great job at keeping the intensity up.
That one actually is going to be fired back in. It'll be picked up by Armbruster behind his own net. Bilodeau will stick his hand out there. Now set around the boards one more time. It'll be picked up by Glant along the wall near the Zamboni doors. Actually, that one catches up on him. Now out in front. That one will get a stick dropped on it. Now drop back for Tribal in front now. What a save by Bilodeau. Another stop loose in the blue paint. And referee Dylan Dauphin's seen enough and just going to protect the goalie at this point. 7:55 to go here in the third.
Yeah, and you know, it might have been a little early whistle. I think based on where the referee was, he thought that he had that puck under control a little bit more than he did, but it was a little bit loose under his legs. But as you said, we're definitely important to protect that goalie. Looking at your rosters now on your screen for Quebec. Deep roster for Quebec, and you'll see that their players, they're all fairly similar. They've got a lot of depth in the Quebec as a province for para hockey, and they're able to draw a great team from that.
And now a beautiful backdoor feed. It looks like Manitoba's kind of adapted to their playing style now, and they've are clogging up the lanes to avoid those cross-crease passes from happening.
Yeah, if they get a chance to set that defense, their positional defense is very good. Sometimes they just don't have the speed to follow those players as they go through the zone, though.
Now centered out in front, loose puck in the blue paint, and it's actually going to be covered up. Actually, I'm not sure who covered it up, the goaltender Bilodeau or the Quebec player in front, but I believe it actually was Bilodeau who reached out under the sled by the looks of it to grab that one.
Yeah, I agree. And that was a smart move by Bilodeau just to get a glove on that one, draw the whistle, and get the face-off.
7:19 to play here in the third. 16-9 the shots for Team Quebec, and they lead at 6-0. Pardon me, Steve. And the linesman in to drop the puck as we're off. That one will come close to Bilodeau, and once again, taking no chances, and he'll cover that one up.
Yeah, it's been a clean game. We haven't seen too many penalties this game, not too many penalty minutes on the board, nothing too scrappy. Just some good hockey, a little pushing and shoving now and then, keep it interesting.
So the face-off is to the right of the goaltender, Bilodeau. Now play decided, it's picked up by Denwillier. Now here's Manitoba. Pass up the left side. That one goes a little wide of the Quebec player there, but ended up not being icing. As it got caught up along the boards there.
And even with this 6-0 lead, Gravel, I see constantly communicating with his players, telling his defense that there's trailing players coming down from the center or the wing. Great communication all around from the Quebec team, and it really shows in their passing game. And Gravel is no different. He's a key component of that.
A nice pass up that time to Waugh. And I was speaking with a couple spectators coming from different provinces over the weekend, and most of them said that the favorite to win this one might be Quebec.
Yeah, I think I've heard that from the players as well. And I had a look at the cup as it was in the room there, and Quebec, I believe, has won it the past 3 years.
For sure, obviously a very dominant team. They look well organized and well coached there. All the coaches seem to be involved in a different way. Actually, Steve, when I was doing up my rosters here, there was a lot of coaches on that Team Quebec team. A little bit of skatey punchy going on there, maybe a little more punchy side of it.
Yeah, and that's riling up the fans from Manitoba. They like to see that, and if they can get back into it and just help their players along, find that extra little energy in the last 5 minutes of this game here.
Now here's Manitoba. Marcelo, actually, that one can't quite hang on to it. A great chance, though. Now that one over the blue line. Now sent over far side. That one just out of reach. Armbruster will get it back, though. Good job. And Tribal Hulu will just spin around, get on his arms, and do a bit of a 180 there. Now drop back for Gregoire. Already threw to his name in this one. Tribal Hulu unable to get really a hold of that one, and we're over 2/3 of the way through the third period here, and game number 13 of 2025 Para Ice Hockey Championships.
And I think at this point, Quebec's just going to keep it clean, do their passing game, keep a perimeter going, take the shots when they come, but they want to avoid any injuries to their players for sure at this point, and early still in this tournament.
There's actually a solid check that time from Manitoba. So I actually wouldn't be surprised to see if Quebec maybe put out a couple of their players who haven't seen the ice much in this one. But looking at it, a lot of players actually have been getting good ice time.
Yeah, they have a fairly even roster, as we kind of mentioned. Means that they're going to be able to play fairly evenly across the board. And that speaks for a long tournament like this. It means that everybody's getting equal ice time, and you're not tiring out any specific players.
Now that one will be cleared away. Linesman saying icing there, but not really much going to it. It's waved off by the linesman there, who's going deep on the far side. And here's Hanrahan with it. He'll pass that one off the left side. Delorier will break it up, but ultimately Quebec will hang on to it. Vergy, that one, he'll slow it up, but Denwillier will get it back. And here's Eau Claire over the blue line, a chance in on goal. Beautiful move that time, and a penalty is coming to Team Manitoba, as pretty expected there.
Yeah, absolutely. It was good defense, and you know sometimes you just have to be aggressive, and it may draw a penalty, but a little scramble going on along the boards here. Okay, it's just out of sight. Not sure. They're having a few words after the whistle. All the officials right there to make sure nothing gets out of control. It's going to give an opportunity for Bilodeau to get a nice drink of water, well-deserved. 16 shots on net there. 3:07 remaining in this game. Still a little bit of time, and I'd still like to see Manitoba find the back of the net if they can once there. Not only for them, but it will also help other teams to see if there's a weakness that they can find on Gravel. So yet to find that, though.
For sure. That goes for all teams in this tournament, Steve. So it's actually going to be Isaiah Armbruster to the box, for Team Manitoba. So Quebec, I'm curious to see what they'll do, if they'll look to score, if they will just kind of protect the other team from scoring, I guess you could say, or not giving up much, as here's Hennerhan who dishes it off to the right side.
Yeah, and that points to the fact that they're probably going to just hold control, which they do so well. Manitoba's going to have a real challenge here if they choose to just pass that puck around amongst themselves. It's going to be really hard for the Manitoba to do anything with it. Only a minute differential between the penalty and the game clock.
Now that one will be cleared away and be picked up down low by Tribal Hul. Now here they come the left side. Now Quebec will dish that one off for Eau Claire. Claire over the blue line. Still sticking with it. Over to Gregoire. Gregoire will slide that one over first side, and honestly might have had the shot there if he wanted it. Down low, Gregoire will pick it up. Now over to Tribal Hul, though it ends up working out. Sends it over to Henderhan, and he scores. Beautiful goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Finds it just right on that side. Beats him glove side. Definitely some screening there. Didn't fully see that puck coming. We'll see that on the replay here. See if we can assess that one. I think it was just a really clean, good shot. And coming across the ice, and that, I think that's what did it Bilodeau came across. We was able to get into position, but maybe just coming across the ice, wasn't able to focus on that puck and finds that net, making it 7-0.
So that's going to be going to number 25, Kevin Henderhan from Gatineau, Quebec. So the puck dropped. Here's Daggle right off the face-off. Already 2 to his name. Maybe he'll look for the hat trick.
And that's Henderhan's third game of the tournament, by my calculation.
Now battle going on there, and referee has seen enough, and he'll vote down.
Minute 30 left in this game, and then we'll move directly into the BC-Saskatchewan game, which is technically our 8 o'clock game, but it will be much closer to just after 9. As you can see there, that's what we saw today on our second day, the final day of round robin play.
So now we're off one more time. That one fired down will be picked up by Team Quebec fairly easily. Messoudi will pick it up and take a little bit of a bump as well. Now here's Sevigny with it. Now that one will be passed up to go to the ice to the far side forward. Daggle and a very nice stretch feed that time. And here comes Team Quebec one more time, and Daggle shot this wide, and already 2 to his name, looking for the hat trick. I mean, Team Quebec's Terry Gregoire already a hat trick to his name, like to join the club potentially. .40 seconds now to go. That one sent back in. Burgeon will pick it up for Manitoba over to the far side for Klassen. Klassen decides to circle back on his own end and pass it up to Vint. Vint now looking to pass that one up, but it gets tangled up. And now that pass is broken up by Daggle. Villeneuve will pick it up for Quebec and fire that one back down. So Sevigny will be the first to the loose puck down there, and he'll lay a bit of a bump. 13 seconds to go here in regulation time, but 7-0 your score. 5 seconds to go. Time ticking down. Final clicks will run off the scoreboard, and that's going to do it. So in game number 13, the second last round robin game of the 2025 Para Ice Hockey Championships. Team Quebec 7, Team Manitoba no score. Shots on goal 17-9 for Team Quebec. And actually Team Manitoba made a lot more noise than Team Quebec in the fan standpoint. What do you think happened in Manitoba there, Steve? A lot of people anticipated this one to be a little closer.
Yeah, it may have been a little bit closer. I think Manitoba had a good showing there. Quebec has just been dominating all of these games. Manitoba never could really find their offensive, and that was the big difference there. They just couldn't get anything happening down low. Shots, only 9 shots on net there. And they really needed to be a little bit more physical in front of the net, I think. And that could have been a little bit of that long day of playing that's sneaking in there. But having their fans backing them, that's going to make the difference in the long run, I think. And they put a good showing in this game.
So that's going to do it. My name's Ethan Choop. I'm joined alongside Steve Rombeek. We'll be right back here for the final round-robin game. Final game of the day at the 2025 Para Ice Hockey Championships here at the LCLC Clearwater Seafoods Arena. Stay tuned.